4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff. Liftoff of the 25th Space Shuttle mission, and it has cleared the tower.
Roger, roll, Challenger.
Engine now at 104%.
Challenger, go at throttle up.
Challenger, go at throttle up.
1 minute 15 seconds. Velocity 29.
January 28, 1986. A day which should have been full of excitement ended in disaster. 73 seconds into its flight, the NASA Space Shuttle Challenger broke apart, taking the lives of all 7 crew members on board. The question looming over everyone's mind was, how did something from NASA, where some of the smartest minds reside and work, fail? The explanation? There was a lack of due diligence in the design of the shuttle. In order to understand what the lack of due diligence was, one must understand what due diligence itself is. According to Merriam-Webster, the definition of due diligence is the care that a reasonable person exercises to avoid harm to other persons or their property. So back to the Challenger. Ally McDonald was the director of the Space Shuttle rocket motor project for the engineering contractor, Morton Thiokol, and he was concerned that the below freezing temperatures might impact the integrity of the rocket's O-rings, and because of the failure, he was demoted. After a presidential commission, he was reinstated to his position and put in charge of redesign and requalification of the rocket motors. The improvements led to 110 shuttle missions in which the boosters came back pristine. McDonald says that because of the improvements, shuttle astronauts felt that the boosters were the safest piece of equipment on the shuttle. What started with a lack of due diligence in trying to fix the issue or even stopping the launch, ended with careful precision of making sure the incident never happens again. Now, most people may think that due diligence only affects specialty areas where engineers work, but engineers work in every field, even in the food and environment. Agricultural and biological engineers must check to make sure food industry production, changing environmental conditions, and agricultural processes will cause no harm to people, animals, or their surroundings. Hence, a lack of due diligence could impact the whole society from a mistake. Darren Burns of Wallace Engineering, a licensed professional engineer in Oklahoma who has a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering, says that for engineers, due diligence is not a suggestion, it is a requirement. Without due diligence, you are just hoping things work out. If it does, then you got lucky and all is good. If it doesn't work out the way you intended and have not done your due diligence, you have nobody to blame but yourself. He goes on to say that Wallace Engineering's civil department provides due diligence for site developments. They determine floodplain status, provide utility information, conceptual design, zoning, and more. This information is invaluable, and knowing this information allows the developer to make an informed decision whether or not to move forward with a project. The process will run smoother, provide realistic expectations, saves time and money, and helps eliminate any future site surprises. Due diligence does not just stop with engineering, as it is a universal skill that every industry must use. Kevin Redmond, the Senior Director of Operations at FieldTurf, graduated from Auburn University with a degree in mechanical engineering. He gave insight on how this engineering principle relates to manufacturing, where engineers work, but not every employee has an engineering background. He said, due diligence is important in the workplace for several reasons. It ensures all legal requirements, federal and state, are met. This pertains especially to safety and environmental and human resource requirements. Any accidents, EPA issues, or HR issues need to go through a strict investigation process and be documented. Most engineers are making process improvements in order to make sure no performance characteristics are impacted for the customer and the company is not impacted from a financial standpoint. Due diligence should touch all of these points. In other words, it is everyone's due diligence to do their due diligence.